Deltarune. Deltarune is a role-playing video game developed by Toby Fox. The player controls a teenage human, Chris, who is destined to save the world together with Susie, a monster, and Ralsei, a prince from the Dark World. During their quest to seal the Dark Fountains, prophesied to end the world, the group meets the inhabitants of the Dark World, some of whom try to stop them. The combat system is based on bullet hell attacks the player must dodge. Similar to Undertale, enemy encounters can be resolved peacefully or through violence. Chapter 1. Chapter 1 begins with the player creating a vessel that is abruptly discarded. Instead, they inhabit a vessel who they cannot choose, Chris. They are a quiet human teenager who lives with their mother Toriel and go to the local school in hometown. After being assigned a tall reptilian student, Susie, as a partner for a school project, she threatens to eat their face. They are forced to team up and go to the supply closet. Upon opening it, the duo inadvertently discover the Dark World inside. There, they meet Ralsei, a kind-hearted boss monster, like Prince, who reveals that the three of them are the heroes of the prophecy, designed to restore balance to light and dark. During their adventure, they meet Lancer, a goofy bad guy. Feeling undervalued, Susie leaves Chris and Ralsei for a time and teams up with Lancer. Susie's friendship with Lancer helps her become more compassionate. The whole cast end up uniting into a single team of four in the end. In the end, Lancer helps the trio overthrow his cruel father, King. Afterward, Chris and Susie say their goodbyes to the Dark World, and, using the power of Chris's human soul, they seal the Eastern Fountain. Chris and Susie return to their world together, appearing in a room filled with toys and board games, representing the Dark World and the characters they met. Chris and Susie agree to return to the Dark World the next day. Chris can leave the school and explore hometown. Chris goes to sleep after exploring the town. In the middle of the night, Chris shambles out of bed, seemingly fighting just to walk. They rip out their soul and throw it into a birdcage, where it becomes trapped. A knife materializes in Chris's hand, and they look at the camera with a menacing smile. The screen then goes completely black for a few moments before the credits play. Chapter 2. The second chapter, titled Wasabi's World, begins with Toriel calling out to Chris. She then discovers a knife and acts shocked. However, it is almost immediately revealed that this is because Chris ate all of the pie she had baked the day before. Chris wakes up, goes to school, and enters the Dark World again with Susie. Eventually, Susie mentions that they have homework to do, prompting Ralsei to banish them from the Dark World until their homework is done. They go to the library where they find another Dark World, the Cyber World, awaiting them, and jump into it, this time after Noelle and Birdley. They hear talk about a queen, who acts as the main antagonist for this chapter, and meet her soon after. She captures Noelle while Birdley switches to her side voluntarily. Eventually, Chris splits up with the other party members and teams up with Noelle. In Chris's company, Noelle starts to learn to be less fearful, becoming one of the game's themes of personal development. Later, after the entire party gets thrown into the Queen's dungeon, Birdley learns to be less arrogant after failing to solve multiple puzzles. The final boss fight begins with both parties turning into mechas, and then combat proceeds in the style of a Punch-Out-esque fighting game. Chris seals the Dark Fountain of this world, and the lightness all return to the Light World. After walking through the town, Chris goes home and Toriel invites Susie to spend the night at her house. She sends the pair to wash their hands. When Chris goes to the bathroom, they rip out their soul again and escape through the window, leaving the player to listen to a chat between Toriel and Susie. Eventually, Chris returns to the bathroom and puts their soul back in their body. After Susie and Chris fall asleep while watching TV, Toriel calls the police to inform them that she saw something outside of the house and found her car tires slashed. After that, Toriel also falls asleep in the living room. Then in the middle of the night, Chris wakes up, and with their knife, creates a dark fountain that envelopes the entire room in black mist. The last thing that can be seen is the static television screen and a ghoulish smile on it. Then, the screen goes completely black for a few moments before the credits play. Development. Toby Fox credits his 2012 inspiration for making an RPG, leading to both Undertale and Deltarune, to the unique art of Canotines, who designed Lancer, Rudin, Clover, Hathi, King, and Jebel, and the uncredited King of Diamonds. While Fox's first RPG became Undertale, his original game idea associated with Canotines character designs would later become Deltarune. Canotines designs for Lancer, Rudin, Clover, Hathi, and King were part of a set of 52 unique playing cards which she had devised as a project for a design class, with the full set being completed by March 29, 2012. Timmy Chang, who previously worked on Undertale, also worked on Deltarune's first chapter, contributing more graphics than she had for Undertale. She's credited as a main artist, animator, and cleanup on background, overworld, battle, sepia, and menu art. Kiko Fukuyushi, a translator at A4 Ltd, who also worked on Undertale, translated the game into Japanese. Fox found Laura Shigehara, who sang and arranged the ending ballad Don't Forget through Kangao's To the Moon. With no prior warning, Chapter 1 of Deltarune was teased for one day on the Undertale Twitter before its release on October 31st, 2018. On release, the game was disguised as a survey regarding something new. Toby Fox has planned, saying it will all start with the player's feedback. As such, the game's folders and shortcuts are named survey_program by the installer, although the actual game executable was called Deltarune. Toby Fox stated he really wanted players to believe the game was related to Undertale, so he tried to imitate Undertale at the beginning of Deltarune, even going as far to make two different choice menus. Players were asked to refrain from discussing what was in the game, or even what it was, for 24 hours after the release. On November 1st, 2018, Fox made the chapter's soundtrack available on Bandcamp. Unlike the first demo for Undertale, the creation of Deltarune's first chapter took a few years, and a full version would likely take over 7 years for Fox to complete as a single person and Timmy. He has therefore floated the idea of assembling a team to work on the game with him. Fox does not intend to make a Kickstarter campaign for Deltarune, and plans to release all potential remaining chapters simultaneously, as a single purchase game if it is completed. There is currently no projected timeline for the game's release or information about what platforms it will support, and some things about Chapter 1 may be changed prior to a full game release, though the game is actively being worked on. However, on September 15th, 2021, during a YouTube livestream celebrating Undertale's 6th anniversary, it was announced that Chapter 2 of Deltarune would release on September 17th, 2021 for PC and Mac. Following the release of Chapter 2, Fox stated that the game's 3rd, 4th, and 5th chapters would be released as a single paid title once completed, with no details being provided of Chapter 6 and 7. In the tweet posted by Fox in May 2022, he stated that the development of Chapters 3 to 5 were going well, and said he has hired more people to help with the game's development. Appearance. Jibble is a short, pudgy imp with a round grey face, elven ears, clown-like eyes with small yellow pupils and black sclera, and a large smiling mouth with yellow sharp teeth. He has a long purple tongue which can be seen either when he laughs or during some of his attacks. He has a purple tail shaped like a capital letter J. He is dressed in a purple shirt, black trousers, black cape, green slippers, black socks, purple mittens, and a lime green and yellow jester's collar. He wears a purple and black harlequin jester hat with 2 small yellow bells. His head appears to be connected to his body via a coil spring, akin to that found in the Jack-in-the-Box, which is only exposed when attacked. Jevil is described as mad since he met a strange someone. Prior to losing his mind, he was a jester with a presumed jokey attitude and a friend of Sean. Now insane, Jevil is still portrayed as an eccentric individual, prone to maniacal laughter, rambling puns, and strange sentences, and having a sadistic sense of entertainment, considering battle with the party to be a game. He has a very cynical view of the world around him and considers everyone around him to be trapped, while he is the only one truly free. Despite ironically being jailed from the world, Sean somehow finds some sense in the words of Jevil, indicating that his insanity might be a form of awareness. Jevil, like the other Card Kingdom denizens, is implied to be a playing card. Specifically, he is implied to be the Joker, as he was the court jester. This is also evidenced by how he claims that he can do anything, as the Joker's most frequent use is a wild card. Sometime before Chris and Susie entered the Dark World, Jevil worked as the court jester alongside Sean, who was the court magician. One day, however, Jevil encountered a strange someone, and his personality shifted permanently. Sean explains that Jevil started saying bizarre things that didn't completely make sense, but didn't completely not make sense either. Eventually, Jevil started viewing the world as a game, while everyone acted as its participants. Because of this, Sean was forced by the Four Kings to lock Jevil away under Card Castle. When talking to him for the first time, Jevil explains that while it appears he is locked in a cell, he is the only person who is actually free while everyone else is locked away. However, he goes on to explain that he is lonely and that he wishes for more people to be free with him. He instructs the party to find the key to open his door, noting that the old shopkeeper, Sean, knows something about it. Appearance. Spampton appears as a weirdly small puppet that wears yellow and pink glasses that sometimes changes colors, and a long-sleeved black V-neck t-shirt with black hair that is slicked back, appearing similar to a pompadour. After becoming Spampton Neo, Spampton...
That guy's voice is getting mega boring. Let's run top 50 rated salesman 1997. Do the rest. He assumes the form of the machine he inhabits. The body of this form looks like a disheveled Metatron Neo with a gaudy pink and yellow color scheme, and a laser cannon mounted onto his hand. Countless green wires suspended from here. Spampton's slick black hair, multicolored glasses, pointy white face, and black suit are noticeably similar to Swatch's outfit. Spampton's design seems to be based on a number of popular deceptions of puppets, being the face and style of a dress seen on classic dummies with the nose of Pinocchio. This is also hinted in the Spampton Neo form, where he refers to himself as a puppet and he sprung a real boy. Spampton has the ability to increase the size of his head. In his Neo form, his head is constantly larger than usual. Spampton was once a natural salesman, always willing to cut a deal. While he still bears a shadow of these traits, this deal is now nonsensical or violent. He claims that he has become a salesman not for the money, but for the freedom to make his own deals. However, he still attempts to scam Chris for money, which he refers to as chroma, as every opportunity. His speech patterns are similar to typical effused spam email texts, with many words replaced with non-sequitur variants in square brackets that can imply incorrectly applied mail merge variables or hyperlinks, or various voice functions. In much of his dialogue, he seems mentally confused and insane, seemingly projecting himself onto Chris, contradicting himself and saying things which make little sense without warning. His mental instability seems to clear up briefly after fighting in his Neo form, as he wishes Chris success with their journey without using broken English. Spampton constantly spells generosity as generosity, guarantee as guarantee, and special as special, with an exception of the latter at the end with Spampton Neo fly after snapping on the wires.
I'm back. Hey, you took my lines!
No. Personality. Spampton was once a natural salesman, always willing. Spampton was one. He assumes. He assumes the
Development. Toby Fox credits his Toby Fox. Oh my god.